Hello and welcome everybody to another Edge of Eternities draft video. I'm Paul Cheon and today we are sitting at rank number 31. The climb continues. We had a really solid blue-white deck in the last draft. White seemingly underdrafted in basically every draft that I'm in. And we started out pretty strong and went 6-3. Hopefully we can get a trophy in this video. Now, before we dive into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Match the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want to buy some booster boxes of Edge of Eternities, or you wanted some singles for your standard, modern, or pioneer decks, check out TCGplayer.com. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, make sure you go to heavyplay.com for all your Match the Gathering supplies and accessories needs. If you need deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, everything you need for your next tabletop gaming experience, heavyplay.com is the place to go. Go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. They're also at basically every Match the Gathering convention. If you see them at a MagicCon or an SCGCon, swing by their booth, tell them Paul sent you for 10% off in person as well. I want a Quantum Riddler. No? That's okay. Man, I have been seeing a lot of Glacier Godmaws and I've consistently not been taking it. I think the card is good, but every time there's just like another really good card that tends to be cheaper. So Glacier Godmaw is fantastic, but I think Haliya is actually better. I've been extremely impressed by this card. The warp is nice, but just triggering this I found to be quite trivial. It's really, really good with Night Luminary, but it's also good if you can warp this in with, for example, a Galactic Wayfarer, even Sammy's Curiosity. I mean, I don't love that combo as much, but I think this card is just an excellent card to build around. And like I mentioned before, white tends to be pretty open. So I think I'm going to take the Haliya here over Glacier Godmaw. And then I think Banishing Light and Gene Pollinator are the other good cards in this pack. Let's go ahead and take Haliya Guided by Light. Here we have a really interesting pack. I mean, there's a bunch of decent comments, but I'm looking at Diadrine, Synthesis Amalgam, and Sunstar Expansionist. And you know, I actually think I'm going to take the Expansionist. It leaves me a little bit more open. I don't think this card is actually like miles better than the Expansionist anyways. And this just keeps us more flexible. And, you know, like the person that I pass to is likely going to take the Glacier Godmaw, so they're probably going to be green, and I want to try to cut off the white here if possible. But I think Diadrine is a totally fine pick there, but I'm going to stick with the white cards while Galactic Wayfarer. But look at these premium white uncommons. Rayblade Trooper and Starfield Shepherd both in the pack. Not entirely sure which one's better, actually. I really like the Rayblade Trooper, but I love the Starfield Shepherd, so I'm going to take this. Especially if you take it early, you can just find a way to find cheap creatures to get with this card. It just gives you so much value. If you're very, very aggressive, though, I do think the Rayblade Trooper is also a totally fine option. But given that both of them are in the pack, could be an indication that white is available. White is available. All right. Well, there's a Galactic Wayfarer in the pack, and there's nothing else that frankly comes close. Selfcraft Mechan can be a decent card if you want to move into like an artifact theme, but Galactic Wayfarer is just by far and away the best card in this pack. So I'm going to take it here. Like I said, works well with the Haliya, just noting that green is a very contested color, and we passed the Glacier Godmaw, but it is what it is. Here we have Eumidian Terrabotanist and another Glacier Galactic Wayfarer. And I think the Wayfarer is honestly just a better card. Works better with the Haliya as well. This is a really good 2-drop, but let's just take a couple of Wayfarers. And, you know, like, this allows us to be a little bit more flexible with kind of how we build our decks potentially. Wow, green is super duper open, I think. I mean, we're not getting enough interaction here, but we're seeing late Eumidian Terrabotanist and Galactic Wayfarers. Noting that in pack number 2, we should not expect to see a whole lot of green. But I mean, this is just a totally fine start here. Eumidian Terrabotanist with Haliya is also pretty nice too, so do like all of this. Here, there's Flight Deck Coordinator, but I think I just want a 2-drop here in the Intrepid Tenderfoot. Nebula Dragon could also be like an interesting consideration, but I think I'd rather just have a 2-drop here for the green-white deck. All right, Larval Scoutlander, Pack 1, Pick 8, and Thawbringer. I mean, this definitely feels like the color combination that we need to be. Green-white typically wants to be a little more aggressive, but I will give myself the opportunity to potentially splash given that I have double Wayfarer plus Larval Scoutlander here. No 1-drops here. Gene Pollinator would be a really nice 1-mana pickup here. Here, I'll take a Weftblade Enhancer, I suppose. Don't really love this card. Ice Cave Crasher is a totally fine card. Notably, that is a late Cryo Shatter, but I didn't see too many indications that blue was super open, and this is totally fine. And, you know, look, this is like a fine lane to be in, but I will say, like, this is not busted by any means. We have a bunch of solid cards, but we are definitely looking for lots of interaction. We're ramping, but we also need some good top-end cards to ramp into. So, you know, we have a nice curve. This is definitely the start of something nice, but we still definitely need a little bit more here. Hopefully we can pick that up in pack number 2 and pack number 3. Like, there is a non-zero chance that the person that I passed to is also in white-green based on what we passed, which is unfortunate, but, you know, that is just kind of how things have been shaping up. Oh my god, one of the best rares in the set here, an Elegy Acolyte, but there's also a Beyond the Quiet and a Eumidian Terrabotanist, along with a Pinnacle Kill Ship. This is kind of interesting. It's like, do I want a Terrabotanist? I don't think I want a Wrath in my green-white all-creatures deck, but do I want a Terrabotanist or a Pinnacle Kill Ship here? I have 4 2s. Kind of need some expensive things, but Terrabotanist works so well with the Haliya too. Alright, I'm just going to take the Terrabotanist. I'm not 100% sure that was the correct pick there, but let's just go for it and see where this goes. Pack 2, pick 2 is a fairly weak pack. There is like Intrepid Tenderfoot and an Ice Cave Crasher, like a lot of replacement level cards. And given that my deck needs a little bit more power, and given the fact that our mana is pretty good, I think I'm going to speculate here on a Fell Graveship and see if I can potentially splash that if I get enough fixing for my deck. And look, that's another Galactic Wayfarer here. Not a ton of white, actually. Like, we started out with like 3 incredible white cards, and then it kind of dried up. But I don't know that... At this point, I feel like it's going to be too hard for me to pivot away from this. So this is where we are. Do wish that I had the Pinnacle Kill Ship, but hopefully we can pick up some good top end here. Gonna just take a Blooming Stinger in this pack, though. Nothing really here. I mean, this is relatively weak pack. There's an Invasive Maneuvers, but that's it. But I do like Blooming Stinger well enough, but certainly could use some more beef. I guess I'll take Ice Cave Crasher. Look, we fully expected pack 2 to not be super strong, and, well, it's certainly looking that way. We have lots and lots of creatures, so we are definitely on the lookout for Biosynthetic Bursts and removal spells if we can see them. I'll take another Blooming Stinger here. Doesn't feel like a good Exosuit Savior deck, but I mean, our 2-drops are awesome. We have 7 2-drops, so, you know, usually I've had issues where I don't have enough, but at this point, it's like, all right, I'm ready for some good top end. Seeing a million red cards, there's another Invasive Maneuvers here or a Sammy's Curiosity. I have a Squire's Lightblade in the sideboard. Could use 1-mana creatures. Like, I'll play a Dockside Worker. Wait, is that what it's called? You know, the 1-mana 1/1 tapper? Like, if I need to. I mean, with triple Galactic Wayfarer and Larval Scoutlander, I really doubt that I'm going to need the Sammy's Curiosity, but, you know, we can certainly go very deep here with, like, we have all the mana fixing in the world if we need it. Yeah, but this is leaving the window open for me potentially splashing, like, any Grav kills that I see, etc. Here, I'll take a Nebula Dragon. I mean, this is actually not a bad card to splash for. So I will certainly have it as an option, depending on what our mana situation here looks like. I don't think I still want to play the Sammy's Curiosity, but Command Bridge is definitely on the table here, especially if I'm going to go for like a weird double splash. All right, there's a Starport Security. I think I'm going to take it here over the Intrepid Tenderfoot. I already have plenty of 2s, and this is a 1-mana creature here to get with the Starfield Shepherd. It's not a great creature, but I still feel like with the Starfield Shepherd, you should still just play the Starport Security in your deck. I don't have a lot of +1/+1 counter synergies. All I have is a Dockworker Drone. Hopefully we can pick up some more. And here's to hoping for a good pack number 3. All right, what do we have? We have, well, fairly weak pack. There's a Lightstall Inquisitor, Biosynthetic Burst, Bioengineered Future, which I think is very, very bad in general. So I don't think I want to take that. I think I'm going to actually take Vote Out here. My deck has like literally no removal. And I think the Fell Graveship is a good card to splash. And with the triple Galactic Wayfarer, I think I have the mana fixing for this. So I'm just prioritizing like holes in my deck, and certainly like interaction is one of them. Very, very happy to pick up. Well, happy and sad. Like obviously I want to pick these up late, but there's nothing in green or white in this pack for me anyways. So I will take the Focus Fire here just as another interactive spell. All right, pack 3, pick 3 gives us... Wow, these packs have just been complete garbage. There's not a green, white, black, or red card that I really love. I'm just not going to splash a Caesarean Dirgecraft, so I guess I'll just take a Thawbringer here. All right. Well, I think I need the Close Encounter over the Wayfarer. I have 3 already. I think the Galactic Wayfarer is a better card, but again, I'm trying to shore up some of the weaknesses of this deck. All right. Here we have a Pinnacle Killship and a Gene Pollinator. There's also a Eumidian Terrabotanist and a Banishing Light. Wow. Normally I would take the Banishing Light, but I just feel like I need more top end with this deck, so I'm going to take the Killship here over the Banishing Light. This way I don't really have to splash the Nebula Dragon, and I can just go green, white, splashing black. Here there's Meltshredder's Resolve and a Night Luminary. I will take the Meltshredder's Resolve. Again, our creature count is super duper high. Just looking for more interaction here. And you know what? This pack's certainly been very, very nice for us. Here I'll take a U Social Engineering. Very, very happy about that. Green certainly open. And now there's Gravkill and Radiant Strike. You know, I'm actually going to take the Radiant Strike here just to... And that's purely like a color situation where I feel like the Gravkill is a little bit better, but I just don't want to go too crazy with the Black Splash here. So let's just do that instead. Wow, Self-Craft Mech in pretty late. Yeah, I don't mind this, because then I have 2 black cards. If I play 1 Swamp, a Command Bridge, that's 2. Triple Galactic Wayfarer, that's like 3 more. It's 5. And I have a Larval Scoutlander, so that's 6. Yeah. No, I think this is fine. Like, Radiant Strike is a really good card, too. Also, you gain 3 life with Haliya. Like I said, Gravkill, I think, is a better card. I just, you know... being respectful towards my mana base here is what I'm going for. Definitely want at least 8 forests, but we don't have any like double green stuff other than the use social engineering. So I think 8-7-1-1 makes a lot of sense here. I am going to play the Starport Security, I think, because of the Starfield Shepherd. And I honestly don't have like a ton of mana sinks. So it just gives me something to do in the late game with all the mana that I'm going to be able to generate here. And I'm actually very happy that I took this Pinnacle Killship over the Banishing Light. I mean, look at this deck. It's got, you know, and this also is a removal effect, right? So I have a bunch of creatures, I can gain a bunch of life, and I still need some way to kind of close out games. And I think the Killship definitely helps with that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is also kind of a creature, so... can certainly cut another creature here. It might just be the Thawbringer. It's probably the weakest option here. We're on 15 creatures. Like I said, the engineering is also kind of a creature. And I like all my interaction. You know, I will say, I'm a little bit concerned about like the lack of mana sinks in this deck. I wonder if, because I don't have so much to do with my mana, like... there's also Weftblade Enhancer, and there's even Intrepid Tenderfoot as potential considerations here as well. Yeah, you know, I'm actually going to try something crazy. I'm going to cut Ice Cave Crashers here, keep my curve low, and this also helps a little bit with the +1/+1 counter stuff from the Starport Security. And it's a little bit weird, but I think I want to try the Weftblade Enhancer here, just to have more ways to kind of use my mana in the late game, pump up some things, turning these into 3/4s and 3/3s seem quite strong. And again, just like I have triple Galactic Wayfarer and not enough stuff to do in the late game. So I'm just kind of leaning into just more late game plays here and go with that. And yeah, we'll cut the Thawbringer. All right. Let's see how this goes. All right, now before round one starts, just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in a different way, I have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Big shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for your support, as it really means a lot. Access to my Patreon gives you access to my Discord channel, which I believe is a really great way to up your limited game and join an awesome community of folks also that are super helpful and also just very, very passionate about limited Magic. Really, really happy with the community that we've built there. So why don't you join as well? Yeah, we'll see. One thing that I'll notice is at the beginning of the format, Ice Cave Crasher was like, wow, this thing hits really hard, but it's kind of fallen down a little bit, I feel like, in just overall rankings. All right, I have 9 green sources in my deck. I have a Focus Fire and a Radiant Strike. Like, if I draw a Forest with this hand, it's incredible. I drew my 1 Swamp. But hopefully we draw a green source here. Just don't think I want to mulligan this. Come on. I had 3 draws at a land. Would have loved the Forest. Dauntless Scrapbot, okay. Yeah, this is not ideal. Am I supposed to play, like, way more Forest? I don't know. Anyways, let's play Galactic Wayfarer. So here, I will sack this lander because I want to give myself outs to draw land number 7 and play the kill ship if I have to. It is pretty nice, though, to sacrifice landers to the Larval Scoutlander. What the? Alright, so our opponent had a similar hand, but they're no, they're all the colors. Celestial Colonnade, okay. Not sure how my deck's going to fare against these types of decks, to be honest. Alright, Blooming Stinger and Larval Scoutlander. Don't really want to kill either of the creatures in play right now, so let's just go ahead and play Stinger. Let's play Larval Scoutlander. Sacrifice the plains. Thin out our deck. And station. 6 cards in hand for the opponent. Our opponent went super deep, so I don't feel good if the games go long, because they're on landers and like all the colors. Yep. All right. Oh my goodness, this deck. And you attack me? Okay. You social engineering. You would have been so much better earlier, before I got the Larval Scoutlander going. This is just awkward because, like, I want to get the Pinnacle Kill Ship going. It's almost like I feel like I almost should play it here. But it doesn't feel that great, to be honest. Let's go 3 in the air. Split the difference a little bit here. The way that I look at this is if they play another big creature, I can just turn the kill ship into a creature and then use Melt Strider's Resolve. If they play an artifact, obviously I can use Radiant Strike. There's a lot of different options here. We drew Vote Out. I mean, it kind of feels like they're like keeping up some kind of removal spell here, but can I do something about it? They have 5 cards in hand. Yeah, so I'm just not going to turn this on. I just feel like they have like a graph kill or something. So I'm just going to attack with my creatures. I just don't want to play into what they're representing here. And yeah, dubious. Okay, that's fine. I mean, their deck's really strong. Dubious Delicacy is a premium uncommon. 5 cards in hand, and that is a Hull Carver. Feel like they still have a removal spell here, but we'll see. I'm at effectively 12 life too, potentially, so I gotta be mindful of that as well. Voidforge Titan. Okay. Well, that's not a bad candidate to kill. How do I want to do this? Well, I guess I can't do both, right? So I need to actually warp this in. I mean, this is more unconditional, so maybe I'm supposed to use Melt Shredder's Resolve here. Alright. Yeah, in which case I should have just cast the Use Social Engineering. So that's on me. I mean, I have so much mana, it doesn't matter too much. And, you know, this is where, like, Intrepid Tenderfoot or even, like, the Weftblade Enhancer would be pretty solid draws. So, Elegy Acolyte. Okay. Okay. I feel like I've been playing against this card way too often. This is, like, the 3rd or 4th Elegy Acolyte in, like, 3 videos. It's quite annoying. And they get a 2/2 here. Like, this card is so dumb. I don't know what they were thinking. Ugh. Frustration level maximum. Play around Counterspell here if I can. And hit for 6. I mean, they're at 9 life. They can sack a Delicacy, go to 12, I suppose. Seems like what they're going to do here. I mean, you know, the Enhancer was certainly a totally fine draw here. Yeah, I mean, now I feel worse because if I draw a land, like, I really wish I had used Social Engineering going. Oh, that's a mono with Circuit Feeder. Whew, their deck is nice. Hit me for 7? Goodness. No, they cooked. They cooked. I mean, granted, they're mostly a black-green deck with Elegy Acolyte, double Dubious Delicacy, and a mono with Circuit Feeder, but, you know, it is what it is. And now the Colonnade and the Circuit Feeder is also just going to kill us. Oh, they can also sack the Delicacy and deal 3 damage to us. And then we die, because they activate the Colonnade and kill us. Yep. Colonnade is a heck of a card. Look, I mean, there's not too much to say here. Like, we stumbled a little bit, but our opponent also played a mono Circuit Feeder and an Elegy Acolyte and got full value off of the Elegy Acolyte. Like, it is what it is, right? So, like, our green-white deck without any busted cards is certainly going to have a tough time dealing with that. So, let's move on. 0-1. Hey, I'm playing against Luis. I don't think it's Luis, though. Something tells me it's not Luis. Alright, opponent on the play here. This hand is totally fine. We have a Blooming Stinger on 2. And then we have several other good options here. We can either go use Social Engineering, make a thing, or play a Dockside Worker, or get the 1-drop creature. Okay, so they have a Plasma Bolt most likely. We'll see. It's just like there was that delayed turn one, you know what I mean? Let's go with the Terra Botanist to play around Plasma Bolt. No land, wow. Wow, that makes my Sunstar Expansionist so much worse. Let me think. I mean, they're probably going to block, but like, you know, make the attack here just in case. I just, like, often, like, I just want to get this before I draw it, because if I draw it, I'm going to feel pretty bad about this, so. What if they knew I had the Expansionist in my hand? Huh? Gotta think. Let's just try to get value off of that card when we can. Then let's play Sunstar Expansionist and pass. I mean, if they're not going to play anything, like, we'll still be fine here, obviously. Okay, yeah, I mean, they kept a hand with a bunch of mountains and didn't quite get there, so it's obviously unfortunate for them. But we take it, and we move on. You know what I want to do? I want to have Haliya in play with the grav ship, and hit for 3, lifelink, and then draw a card. Alright, on the play here, 3 lands and some cards on curve we're going to keep. Got our 1-drop. Got our Blooming Stinger and Multistrider's Resolve. No, like, kind of late-game staying power or landers or anything like that, but, you know. That's what the top of the deck is for. You know, one card, like, I would have liked that I didn't see? I saw one early, but I didn't see, like, any late Biosynthetic Bursts. That would have been a nice one for this deck, probably. Or a solid card, at least. Melded Moxide. Alright, if I can draw a creature here to punish this slower start, like, that would be ideal. Just anything. Any creature here would be so good. but a swamp will not do. I mean, obviously this is a keep no matter what. It's just like... Pulsar Squadron Ace, okay. And they hit something. They got a Wormwall Sweeper, wow. Alright. And they did have a Plasma Bolt. We did call it. Alright, that's a Galactic Wayfarer. I'm not going to use Meltstrider's Resolve on this. On the Squadron Ace. Just seems kind of weak, so I'm going to wait. And red-white, by the way, is not really super aggro in this format. It's more like a mid-range deck. Like, mid-range spacecrafts is kind of what it's trying to do. So I don't have a 1-mana creature to get here, so I actually think I should just play the Shepherd. Just to have a 3/2 flyer in play. And because the thing is, all I can do is get a Plains. Because I drew the Starport Security. I mean, my opponent is at 12. Like, hopefully their hand isn't just all removal and it's just like a bunch of really slow cards. You know, like, let's say they go all in on Wedgelight Rammer. We do have the Radiant Strike to deal with it. We have a Tapper in play. And we have a Meltshredder's Resolve. Weftblade Enhancer on the Warp. Okay. Are they going to play the Sweeper as well here? Double Enhancer. Wow. I like barely put it in, but they really like it. Ooh, Lumen Class Frigate as well. That's not good. Because this becomes a giant flying lifelinker. And I can't properly kill the Wedgelight Rammer. I mean, but they have to tap a bunch of stuff to actually make this work, so... I don't know. Let's see. This becomes a 3/4 if I kill the Frigate. It's our only play, really. So, our opponent's at 5 life. We're mildly flooded. And, I mean, that's kind of the issue, like I said before, like me not having enough top-end things to do. It's why I took that kill ship, and why I'm playing the Tenderfoot, and why I'm playing the Weftblade Enhancer. They're very, very, very close to stabilizing. Like, if they draw a land and play the Enhancer, that's going to be very difficult for us to beat. But we'll see. Maybe they don't have enough. Okay. Okay. Exosuit Savior. Okay. Oh, that's really good, actually. Yeah. Pulsar Squadron Ace. Probably just want to make it a 3/4. Yeah. Okay. So they have a 3/5 life. Okay. Alright, alright. I think we can figure something out here. I just need to keep the Starport Security back, right? And this would be a 3/3 flyer, so yeah, why don't we go Meltstrider's Resolve here. Play the land. Play Galactic Wayfarer. Attack for 6. And pass. Alright, they're at 20. Oh, I hope they don't have a sweeper. I mean, if they have a sweeper, they have a sweeper. But I have a 3/4 flyer that if they don't kill, like, I'm okay. Oh, yeah. Memorial Vault. That's a Desperation Memorial Vault. Okay. Full bore. I think we got this. Whew. Okay. I mean, they had some powerful late game stuff going, but somehow it was like their deck was a little bit too slow, and our deck was just fast enough to get it done there. Whew. Because look, if that game goes on for like a couple more turns, we are done for. I'm surprised they if they had another removal spell. So we had to dodge a lot there, and I'm very fortunate that we did, and we are 2-1. All right, we are right back to where we started here. We had to go 2-1 to do that, which on the play here, 3 lands. We have a vote out, which, you know, we'll get to eventually. Sunstar Expansion is, of course, not looking super cool here. I wonder if it, is it correct to, intentionally miss a land drop? I might do it, actually, because I need to get to 7 lands, too. I might. Steel Swarm Operator. No, I think that's probably too weak. I can probably miss a land drop next turn, though. Like, I can activate this and just pass. If I keep drawing lands, then it's like I'm less inclined to do all that other stuff. Also, if they miss a land drop... Oh, that's cool. That's a cool combo. They get to hit me for 1 in the air. Yeah, it's like we keep drawing lands, so it's like... I'm committing to it. I'm committing to it. The way that I look at this is like my life total isn't in danger, and I do value being able to get a black source to cast Vote Out as well. And, you know, at least like I use my mana too. So... They got a good deck. Survey Mechan. Ooh, Radiant Strike, but no, like, great targets for it. I think they're probably just going to block. I don't really feel like bluffing. Wow, the Survey Mechan, by the way, costs 6 mana to activate. They have... How did they get 4 different lands in play? Like, all in order. That's kind of nuts. And with the Steel Swarm Operator, they can actually use the Mechan here to kill my Tenderfoot if they want. Which is obviously extremely powerful. But let's see what they do. There's a land. Huh. Trying to set myself up to deal a bunch of damage here, but life totals are 18 to 10, and they do have the Survey Mechan here. Kind of interesting. I mean, the thing is that I have nothing that I want to kill, right? I suppose I can Radiant Strike the Steel Swarm Operator. And that allows me to get damage through. Sure. Like, they're going to use the Mechan to kill something regardless. But now they can't block sack. And... okay. This is where, like, a combat trick would obviously be awesome. Yep. It's like the best survey Mechan ever. But this is all we got. Life total 21 to 10. My opponent's up 47,000 cards on me. I have a Pinnacle Kill Ship, an Expansionist, and a Dockworker Drone. So land would certainly be fine. Yeah, I mean, they're... okay. Yeah. Their deck is sweet. They've got what you would like to say... they have late game inevitability. That's what I'm going to say. It's a 3/3 flyer as well. Whew. They have so many cards, they have to discard a card. That's ridiculous. I mean, I could sack the lander to play the kill ship, but my thought process is they're probably going to try to get the Mechan going, and like I just need to maximize any amount of damage that I can push through right now, and then like try to steal it with the kill ship or something like that. So, and obviously there's still a chance I just draw a 7th land here, but I just get the blocker out of the way, have 3 creatures in play to their 0, and hope for the best. I give ourselves like a 15% chance. Okay, I give ourselves a 0% chance of winning now. 0-point ballad too. Man, we are running into some goodies. Wormwall Sweeper, probably not particularly good in this deck, but it's obviously fine. Like, they're clearly a Grixis control deck, so this card is just not going to be the type of card that you want, but it is an artifact. Mechanazoa, okay. Sure. Let's crack the lander. Get a forest. Let's kill the Mechanazoa. But they're just up too many resources. Like, they have a nice deck, for sure. And, you know, like, the last green-white deck had, like, 3 Haliyas and lots of ways to draw cards. We have yet to see the Haliya. And, I mean, obviously, it would be very good. But this deck doesn't have the ability to grind the way that some of the others do. Like, you know what would be good? Glacier Godma. But given that I didn't see Haliya, I wouldn't have seen the Glacier Godma either. Right? Assuming they're just the same card. Territorial Bruntar? Okay, blue-red splash black, sure. Cryo Shatter on the Terrabotanist. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, this is just... unless I draw another big creature here, ugh. Wow, that Cryo Shatter was actually pretty meaningful here. So it becomes a 7/7, but they do have the ability to block. If I can find another like interactive spell, maybe we can steal it. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Should I be splashing the Nebula Dragon as well? I didn't think about that, but it's possible. It is possible. So they just left up 7 man. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I'm still gonna do it, but I don't love doing it. Like, I'm still doing it because, like, it kind of forces a double block. I mean, honestly, oh, yeah. They could have just done that and, like, attack with the sweeper, but they're playing for the long game, which I totally respect. So, because I have the use social engineering and I have a bunch of lands already, I do think that I probably should not sack the landers and hold them. But yeah, I mean, this is... Our opponent's deck is just really sweet. Blue-red sweet cards. I guess I could draw a close encounter. And if I did, I'd want to play it. I guess I can't even play it. Alright, we'll just wait. Okay, well... Yeah. You know, I actually think I should be splashing the Nebula Dragon here. I just have so much mana. With triple Wayfarer, it's like, just cut a plains from my deck, and play that, I think. Maybe cut Thawbringer. Yeah, I mean, they can sack the Survey Mech in here too. Use social engineering would be pretty decent. Focus Fire's not bad either. Oh shoot, I did not mean to do that. Golly, that was really bad. Okay, that's terrible. I should not have attacked with that. Oh my gosh. And I can't focus fire it for lethal. Okay. This is too embarrassing. Look, I mean, they were going to use the Survey Mechan to draw 3 cards, gain 3 life, and I was probably dead. But attacking with that Eumidian Terrabotanist was just like complete garbage tier play from my part. So I do apologize for the carelessness and weak play overall. All right, let's go Mountain. Let's play this. I don't think I need Embrace Oblivion here. Or Bombard. All right. Going a little more top-heavy here. Cutting the Blooming Stinger. Like, if I had more diplomatic relations, I think I'd play it. But I like my other twos a little bit better. Just like the life gain synergies with Haliya. And then the mana sinks as well. But 2 and 2. Got a lot of matches that we need to win. Right, I'm going to keep this hand. It's got the command bridge. A little bit slower, but still. It's okay. Mono with Sentry is fine. And alright, Eumidian Terrabotanist is the draw. Beamsaw Prospector, okay. And we drew the mountain, okay. I don't have any double white cards, right? Alright. Let's do that. And start working on building up the Scoutlander here. Graph Pack Monoist is the play from the opponent. There's the Nebula Dragon, alright. I mean, we got some removal here, and we have the Nebula Dragon here at the top end here. Nice curvaceous hand from the opponent. Don't really want to kill either of those creatures, to be honest. But we're at a pretty high life total, so it's not too bad. I guess I should probably keep the Eumidian Terrabotanist back. It just saves so much damage, right? And then if I draw a land, I can just turn this on anyways. I mean, with 2/2/1s in play and me basically with like no great plays, I think I want to kind of force them to use a removal spell on the Terrabotanist if they do have one. Okay, this is fine. Alright, well, there is a land. I mean, I feel like there's a very good chance something happens with this Nebula Dragon, but... It could just be a removal spell. I'm just hoping they don't have a counter spell. Alright, well, we got a pair of flyers now. Gonna try to win the game with the Larval Scoutlander. Did not work. They had the Dubious Delicacy. Maybe they should have just killed the Terrabotanist earlier, but I guess they're thinking the game's gonna go a little bit longer here. We have 3 removal spells, but they have yet to play like a creature I want to kill. Maybe there's a Mechanozoa coming in this turn. They just hit 6 lands. No, it's a Grav kill, and the Terrabotanist blocks, so... Unless they have like a Cryo Shatter or something. Well, that's just not great. They just bounced my Terrabotanist when I'm at 18 life to get in some damage. Do not like that play very much. Alright, well, these 2/3s are doing a very good job against these Prospectors. But, like, obviously we don't have a lot of good top end here right now, so... We'll see what happens. Self-craft Mechan. Yep. So if I kill that, I think I fizzled their card draw. Alright. Just making sure that's how it works. There is a land. I don't really care, though. So I think I'm supposed to just pass. Because I have the use social engineering, and I can't really attack through the 3/4 anyways. Or I don't really want to, rather. Probably going to get a Swamp here in case they have, like, mono with Circuit Sentry in their deck. Or Circuit Feeder, rather. Yeah, I mean, we need to draw one of our big spacecrafts. Like Grav Spaceship, or whatever. Like, that would certainly be good. Mechan Assembler is kind of a problem. I'm going to hold the Focus Fire, but we'll see where this goes. Oh, Radiant Strike. Great draw. Where's my Haliya, by the way? Can I ever draw Haliya? That would be good. I'm going to hold this land still. No point in attacking. Don't want to trade 2 damage for 4 damage. Alright. It's another land. May the Flood Wars begin. And that's the issue with green-white. It's just like, just don't have enough to do. I should probably play one of these lands, because this is going to get me a land anyways. Not going to attack yet. Okay, that's not going to... I mean, it's a 2-4. It's fine. There is the use social engineering. We did discuss that one. Let's go get a plains. All right. Get some tokens. No good attacks in the air or on the ground. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should have held more lands. I don't know. Think it was kind of close. Alright, so now we at least have a flyer that can start getting in for damage. And we drew a Fell Grav Ship, which is obviously very, very strong. Let's get Larval Scoutlander. I need to get the use social engineering in play first. This is 8 mana to use. Gotta think. I'll keep the Expansionist back here, just because it blocks literally everything that they have. And if they feel compelled to use a removal spell on the Expansionist, then obviously then I can just outrace them with the Grav Ship, which is very good. Alright, well, we drew some of our impactful uncommons, and I'm very, very happy about it. Oh, but they drew a Tezzeret. Okay. Sure. Make yourself useful. They're keeping everything on defense. Alright, well, let's play a Larval Scoutlander. Crack the forest, thin out our deck. Make a couple of 2/2s, get a billion landfall triggers. This isn't really attacking. Oh, I can play another land. Okay, Tezzeret down. Our board is super wide. And then we have 2 removal spells, and we can also tap something down here with the Starport Security. All right! All right, we definitely drew out of that one. That was like, we both kind of got flooded there, and we drew some key uncommons to get out of that, and we were able to go over the top. All right, well, hey, the Nebula Dragon was still pretty good there. Let's keep this going. 3 and 2. A really strange build, because I'm not like super aggro. Like, I don't have like the 5-mana Haliyas and stuff, so I'm just like a green ramp deck, but green ramp paired with white isn't kind of where you want to be. Here, this hand is quite bad. 2 planes, Starport Security, Weftblade Enhancer, Eumidian Terrabotanist that I can't even cast. Like, if I draw a forest, maybe this hand gets there, but I just don't think the upside is even high enough. So I'm going to mulligan that hand. And I will keep this hand, and I will bottom a forest. This hand is obviously also not very good. We drew our 7-drop and a bite spell, but it is what it is. And we drew a black spell. Okay. I'm going to take the 2 here and then use Focus Fire on the Scrapbot, I think. Oh, that's a Terrabotanist. Okay. Oh, I guess I could have sequenced my lands a little bit better in case I drew Terrabotanist. Alright, another Grixis Artifact Value deck. Probably my worst matchup. Alright, Selfcraft Mechan. On the Prospector, sure. Just gonna try to minimize the damage that I take. This does not feel particularly good, but wish I had another creature. But hey, I mean, to be fair, like a 3/4 isn't too bad against this board. Obviously, if they use a removal spell on Terrabotanist, it's not great. Uthro Scanship, okay. Not quite enough to kill the Scanship, sadly. Alright, well, this is just like a very awkward sequence of draws. Would have loved like a Galactic Wayfarer or something. I did bottom a land, but at the time, like I could have maybe bottomed the kill ship, but my deck has so much mana, I just felt like keeping 3 lands was like a good middle ground. But this was a god-awful draw. Alright, if I draw a Swamp, that wouldn't be too bad. Cryogen Relic, yeah. Playing against a lot of these like blue artifact value decks, and green-white specifically has a lot of tough time with this. Especially my build of green-white, which is not particularly aggressive, you know what I mean? And I feel like I just get outvalued. I'm just getting outvalued here. And it's not like my opponents are doing anything like spectacular. It's just they're playing blue cards. Draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. That does not exist in green-white unless I have Haliyas. It's a Virus Beetle. They have 2 mountains in their deck? I wonder what they're playing, what they're running over there. Yeah, this is not good. All right, let's cast this with Warp. Play a land. Maybe the enhancers was not where I want it to be. The thing, that being said, like I still just need a way to kill this flyer, which right now I just can't. I can deal 3 damage with Close Encounter. Yeah. So we lost to 2 Grixis control decks. We lost to Elegy Acolyte. And honestly, like, this collection of... This is a good example of, like, a collection of cards that looked fine, but ended up just playing out horribly. Just, like, there wasn't a whole lot of, like, synergies or anything like that. And so we just couldn't really keep up. So, I mean, that's a lesson learned. Like, I wanted to just draft what seemed available at the time. But, unfortunately, it's just, like, we didn't quite have enough here. And... like, it wasn't aggressive. You know what the big thing was? I actually... White just didn't end up being open. I think that was the issue, right? Like, I first picked a Haliya. Then I picked a Starfield Shepherd and a Sunstar Expansionist. But then if you look, it's like the rest of my white just died. But it's so hard to move off of a white rare and 2 premium white uncommons. And that's maybe where we got stuck. Green felt more open than white for the most part. So... if I did go for a pivot, like maybe I'm supposed to go like black-green, or I don't know. I'm going to have to look back at this draft. And you know what? I can do that right now. All right, pack 1, pick 1. Again, I think this pick was somewhat close. You could certainly make the case that I should have taken the Glacier Godma, but the Haliya is a really fun card to play with, and I wanted to take it. I do think it's pretty close between these two. Pack 1, pick 2. I mean, honestly, the first few picks were like pretty straightforward. Right? Like, we saw late Galactic Wayfarer, but the first 3, like, when you start the draft with 3 white cards that are uncommon and rare, it's so hard to move off of it. Then we had the Galactic Wayfarer, which was the pick there. Then another Wayfarer, which I do think is better than the Botanist, okay? And let's keep an eye out for maybe other colors that are seemingly available, okay? A Terra Botanist, best card in the pack here. So certainly green is where we need to be. Here, there was a late-ish Nebula Dragon, but I just feel like taking the Tenderfoot still makes sense here for me. Just like keep taking the green cards here. But there's no great indication that another color, other than maybe red, is available. Here, Larval Scoutlander, pick 8 is ridiculous. And then on the wheel, there was nothing. Pack 1, pick 10, there's a Ice Cave Crasher, and I guess this could be an indication, but given that green was open, I feel like it's just better just to take an Ice Cave Crasher for my deck than something like a Cryo Shatter. It's a late Mechanozoa, but hey, Dockworker Drone also good in green-white. And a Command Bridge. In Pack 2, we got really destroyed. Because we passed that Glacier Godma. Now, this is an interesting one, okay? I don't think the Frenzied Baloth was the pick. I think the Terra Botanist is like more consistently decent. And given that I have the Haliya, it makes sense to take it here. But... and I was looking like I wanted to be aggro, but I did have the 2 Galactic Wayfarers and Scoutlander, right? So I can see making the argument, because the Botanist is fine, but it's not insane. I can see the argument. Like, number 1, you can either just take the kill ship, or you can just speculate on Elegy Acolyte, because it's that powerful. But there was just no indication that black was open in pack 1. Right? But like, you could make an argument that I could have taken this card because it's so darn powerful, and I wouldn't necessarily fault you. You could also make the argument to take Grav Kill just as a removal effect. But if I'm going to take Grav Kill on the splash, I'd rather just play the Pinnacle Kill Ship. So I think given where I was at with double Wayfarer and Scoutlander and Starfield Shepherd, I think the Kill Ship was the correct pick here. But I could see an argument being made to take the Elegy Acolyte. Pack 2, pick 2. All the green-white cards sucked, so the Grav Ship makes a lot of sense. Pack 2, pick 3, another Galactic Wayfarer, really setting up for some top end. And then Pack 2, pick 4 was just overall pretty weak. There were blue and red cards, but we have no blue or red cards here. And even, like, we're not seeing black cards here either. So we have the Fel Grav Ship. And then I guess we would have had Elegy Acolyte, Fel Grav Ship, and I guess maybe Virus Beetle out of this pack. Here, another pack, like Artifacts, but I just don't think Artifacts was where we needed to be. So Blooming Stinger makes sense. Fairly weak pack here in general. Nebula Dragon I took for a potential splash. That is a really late Zookeeper Mechan on the wheel. Here I took Starport Security, which makes sense with the Shepherd over the second Tenderfoot. Embrace Oblivion, sure. But nothing too crazy. Here I took a vote out. Biosynthetic Burst could have been the other consideration here, but I don't think that moved the needle a ton. I could have taken a Lightstall Inquisitor, but I felt like I needed removal more than anything at this moment. Like, I just had no, like, I had no, like, basically no removal, right? So I kind of panicked and I was like, well, I'm probably splashing the Fell Grabship anyways, so let's take the vote out here, which is why I took it. Next pick, I took Focus Fire. Good interaction. Sure, I'm okay with that. Here we took a Thawbringer. Was there any... There was just nothing powerful in this pack, so I think Thawbringer was a fine pick here as well. Here, Close Encounter for interaction, even though I think Galactic Wayfarer is a better card. Here we took Killship, which I think was correct. Right? Like, you could take Banishing Light, but I really needed some top-end stuff here, and I think the Killship was fine. You could make the argument that I could take a Gene Pollinator for the Starfield Shepherd, but to ramp into what? Right? Now, had I already had a Pinnacle Killship previously over the Terra Botanist, then I could see taking the Gene Pollinator here to get with the Starfield Shepherd. So that was the other option. But am I really taking Gene Pollinator over Banishing Light? Probably not. So, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, like having 2 Killships would have been totally fine in my deck. Here, I took a Melt Shredder's Resolve, more interaction over Luminary. So I felt like Pack 3 was actually pretty solid. We got a bunch of interaction to help short, and then use Social Engineering this late. So, I mean, not busted, but I thought like green and white, more or less, was like a reasonable place to be. Like we saw Night Luminary, Pack 3, Pick 6. There's a Banishing Light in this pack. So I just feel like this was probably our lane. And outside of maybe taking a second Pinnacle Killship, like I didn't see a bunch of black cards either. So, like overall, I think this was more or less where we needed to be. We didn't have the most powerful deck. I think my initial build of the deck was probably wrong. Like, given all my mana fixing, I probably should have played this Nebula Dragon. And given that I felt like it looked like I was going to have enough 2-drops, I probably should have just taken a Pinnacle Killship over the Eumidian Terra Botanist. I was just in love with the idea of Haliya plus life gain. By the way, in 6 games, didn't even see her once. It's pretty sad, pretty sad. So, yeah. All in all, just not an ideal draft. Maybe I just shouldn't have played the Weft-Blade Enhancer regardless. And I don't know what I should have played in its stead there. Yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe an Ice Cave Crasher or something. Something big to make my close encounters a little bit stronger. Something along those lines. Because I don't have that many +1/+1 synergies. But anyways, look, it was like minute differences. We simply got overwhelmed by some really, really good value-based Grixis artifact decks. And yeah, I mean, there was just not too much I can do. But yeah, Grixis is strong. Grixis is strong, and when you have a deck that doesn't quite have enough top end, you're just going to get outvalued, and that's what happened to us. But hopefully we can turn things around because, man, we went from rank 7 to rank 60 something or whatever. So hopefully I can turn it around in the next video. But that's for tomorrow. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, I do have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Also, check out TCGplayer.com for all your singles and sealed product needs. If you want to buy some booster boxes of any product, any TCG product, or you wanted some singles for your constructed decks, check out TCGplayer.com. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below. Also, check out HeavyPlay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmat sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and more, go to HeavyPlay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow.